Mummy, you're the best.
What's up folks, welcome to chapter 1. Joys are slightly tricky to say the least, and on top of that the key is cumbersome to fight with, and you're somewhat at the game's behest as to whether or not they're just going to backflip out of your attacks. By doing a small jump like this, you gain just enough height to avoid some of her possible moves, without compromising your ability to attack her. Getting a parry in here is a nice bonus since you build a decent chunk of magic, although it doesn't change the number of hits it takes to kill her. More importantly though, it looks pretty cool. Scarborough Fair is not exactly the ideal weapon for fighting Joys either, but we'll live. Safety is the priority, their attacks are incredibly fast and hard to react to, but dancing around and using weaves till they go down to a torture attack is simple enough. Even when there's just one left, you can never let your guard down. Their move list is pretty big and can cover huge areas, so you have to be ready for just about anything. Even a tiny lapse in concentration can result in you getting punished. The first Alfheim eases you in nicely. Some of the later ones are totally insane, but you wouldn't know that playing this. Witch Time makes it easier than your average infinite Climax verse, although it's a little sad that a perfect parry doesn't activate it. There are 3 waves here, the first 2 being a series of affinities matched with one bigger enemy, and if you clear that out the threat is basically over. You can use the affinities to trigger Witch Time without engaging the tougher enemies, and in the case of Gracious it's actually required since even the most perfectly timed dodge won't activate Witch Time. Scarborough Fair's damage isn't the best, but you can easily build enough magic to have torture attacks stored for each of the problem enemies as they show up. Joy is once again the threat in the last wave, but once she's down the Ardors are not much of an issue thanks to Witch Time being enabled. Also, Bayonetta's doing some pretty interesting stuff with that chain there, don't really know what that's about. After Joy is dead, all that's left is to clean up and walk out with your pure platinum. Affinities and applause are easily dispatched by hanging around in the sky and not doing anything stupid. Gaze of Despair stops me from going fully crazy with the air juggles, but there's still a lot of room for playing around with combos, especially with Kulshedra basically guaranteeing flight. Decorations show up occasionally, but they can't do a thing unless you're paying no attention whatsoever. Near the end I dropped my combo trying to get the kick attack going on the pole, but with Gaze of Despair I already have a ton of points, so I wasn't too worried about not making the threshold for platinum combo score. Without Witch Time, angel weapons can be tricky to make good use of, which is why you'll see me avoiding a lot of them. Beloved shows up and looks threatening, but he's really just a big punching bag. Keeping on the move and never attacking from the same place for too long turns him into a joke. All his moves outside the regular swings are about catching you standing still, and on top of that I'm using Scarborough Fair so I don't even need to get close. Afterburner kicks do a bunch of damage and keep you moving all over, so you can avoid all his attacks while keeping the offense up, and he's just plain fun to style on. Grace and Glory are always a threat, but I've got enough magic going into this one that I don't really have to engage them for more than a few seconds each before finishing them off. Playing keep away with Wicked Weaves and Bullets is the safest approach to this, and it doesn't take long before enough damage is done that a torture attack will finish them off, doing most of the work. Wicked Weave launchers are one of the most useful tools against Grace and Glory since it keeps them stunned for a few seconds, and the easiest way to do it is PPKP, which you'll see me using a lot. Fortitudo crashes the party, but you can put him in the ground in seconds thanks to his own attacks. Reflecting his fireballs is not only the coolest way to fight him, it's also the fastest and it gives the most combo score. If you're not familiar with the moon of Mahaa-Kalaa, simply spamming the direction towards this guy will deal with everything he throws at you, no timing required. Just make sure to stay airborne so his shots don't hit the wall before you can parry. Easy pure platinum. The start of verse 8 is a weird one. Hitting the bridge off the wall only staggers you, so there's no need to worry about damage, but he can hurt you while he's in the process of grabbing it. Doing a lot of weaker attacks racks up combo here, and if you don't do enough damage in time, the game moves on as if you did anyway, so it's fine to just let it play out till the max duration and rack up score. There's no obvious strategy or secret trick for the second phase. Wait for him to slowly clamber up and then go to town. Simple solid gameplay is what's required here, being poised to dodge anything he throws at you while getting damage in. He has a surprising number of attacks, so being overly cautious doesn't hurt, and neither do a few heal stomps. Once he's dead, that's chapter 1 complete. Very rude of the game to say I took damage on the score screen here. My best guess is that it counts the damage you take when you land a perfect parry before it heals you back up, but who knows. If you have any questions, any comments, feel free to ask away. See you guys next mission.